Diksha. My name is Shiera.
And I'm Sharon, and it's a geek out, isn't it?
It's an absolute geek out. What did I say? Okay, you were saying something about that.
Yeah,
3D.
printed swimwear. Forget about 2 pieces. We've got like 14-piece swimwear. To tell you about.
Absolutely crazy swimwear. It's like you feel like you're a transformer in it, literally. But the sad thing is,
you sound like you tried it on. This guy called Nadir Gordon, right, designed this swimsuit that basically comes in 14 pieces. It was created by the MakerBot Replicated 2, and it took between 70 and 90 hours to make
fix it. And the best part is, as soon as she puts it on, according to the model who actually sported it, it was quite comfortable, but fell off in a matter of 2 minutes.
Well, yeah, conditioning hose.
I mean, imagine, it's literally like having gadgets pop out from everywhere.
Yeah, he designed it apparently after the peace and fierceness of the waves. So you basically got like seaweed-like things around you.
Yeah, imagine swimming in that. A bit scary, and I don't think
you'd fit right in with all the seaweed and stuff, which is kind of nice. But then if you've got pieces falling off, that's not gonna help at all. But it's a cool concept, and we'll talk more about 3D printing later on in the show.
Yeah.
Right? So what else is news?
You were saying something about
Nova Launcher. Yeah, Nova Launcher has more material design. So if you're not happy with your stock launcher and you're an Android fan, you can go ahead and try out the app, basically update it if you have it, or download the beta version and
check it out.
Yeah,
and see for yourself how it actually
it's basically got like a cream background on red, so that's
quite classy, I would say. I'm a big red fan anyway. Speaking of red, you know how Ganymede is like
Ganymede is red.
No, Jupiter is red, you know, so I'm trying to...
Expert segue there, right? But...
see how I connected everything? Jupiter is red.
You know, Ganymede is one of Jupiter's moons,
right? But
here's the big news. They found water there.
Yes, they have. And see how exciting it is. See, if a planet, or rather if a moon that big can hold water, chances of that moon having life is actually very, very, very high.
E.T., are you out there? But seriously though, humans have this really weird concept that there must be the same conditions throughout the universe to form life. But who knows, there could be life out there that looks nothing like us and therefore doesn't require the same conditions.
Absolutely. Having said that, although it's water substance, we don't really know whether it's actually, you know, usable water. But rumor has it they're going to make...
I think people just want to conquer the universe, and they're looking for sources of water so that they can hop over there as soon as possible.
You never know. The future, never know what the future holds. And hey, who knows? It can be like a stopover. You know, next thing like, oh, where are we going on your honeymoon? Oh, we're just stopping by Jupiter. Could be a thing, eh?
Yes, gas giant, we're gonna live in a gas giant. Never mind, things could get very explosive on your honeymoon.
It could be.
But there's also, speaking of the uncertainty of things and all, you know how GeekOut was like one of the biggest blog things ever? Well, they shut down, and this really sad line from the founder, Malik, was like, "Goodbye, sweetheart, I still love you."
Aww, that's so sentimental. And a little dramatic. A little dramatic, but sentimental.
Well, then basically they shut down because they owed their creditors, and then they couldn't pay them.
Okay, makes sense. Speaking of, internet sites and blogs, eBay apparently has, been found to be selling rifle parts, separate parts of rifles.
Yeah. Well, they usually have controls and stuff to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But if you really know what you're doing, sellers have tagged the manufacturer's names. No, don't try this at home, okay? We're not advocating.
And mind you, Sri Lankan customs take like 20 days to clear your thing, so chances are you're going to get caught with it. Having said that, since it's only parts of the rifle, people knowing what it is, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying to get one myself.
Because you know what you're doing with rifles.
You never know, huh?
Okay, so speaking of things shutting down and dying off and stuff,
Yeah.
we have more bad news this time from Google.
Yeah, a lot of news on Google actually. So
Yeah, but not all of it is bad. Let's start with the bad news first because, well, then you can recover with the good news. Google Code is shutting down because people finally realized that people at Google finally realized that their audience actually preferred GitHub. Shocker.
well, you know, some things have to end.
Yes.
All good things die off. And hey, speaking
What was
of,
that line? So long, sweetheart. I will always love
she
you.
likes to be dramatic. I think she's had a very interesting Friday night. Speaking of Google, the CFO Patrick Pichette has actually left after 7 years.
Wow.
Yep, that's quite a long time, and I'm pretty sure he can actually afford to leave. I mean, he's been there for 7 years.
What's he doing?
Interesting that you asked. He's actually taken time off to spend time with his family. I think it's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, he's been married to a lovely lady. They've had 2 kids. They're well educated, sent off to college, and they're doing quite well. And one day, he and his wife had climbed Mount Kilimanjaro and been like, you know what? The wife would be like, why are we doing this? This is so much more interesting.
So many mountains to climb.
Exactly. And the husband like, dang it, man, let's do this. And like quit his job. Quit his job, and now they're off to climb mountains. And I really hope I find somebody who would be like, I quit my job to climb mountains for you, baby girl.
Why don't you just quit your job and go climb mountains?
I like this. The camera and I have, you know,
So
chemistry.
you can take the camera along with you on the mountain. More news from Google. Project Zero has found this hack called Rowhammer. It's not Warhammer, it's Rowhammer. Close enough. Basically what happens is when you repeatedly access a row of memory, you flip the bits and it gives you admin privileges. This is like the condensed version.
It's pretty cool.
It's cool for the person who's doing it.
But does that mean that we are at risk as well?
Well, we would be, but see, the exploiters are out for Google Chrome, and Google obviously spotted this and they fixed it. But there's one, do you use Linux? That's going to be a little harder to fix.
Not really. I don't.
So, you don't have a problem, we're fine here.
We're fine. We should be good. We should be very good.
Okay, so in other news, you remember the Steam box we were talking about?
Yes, they look like the Dell Optiplex.
Yes, it is kind of the same size-ish
Yeah.
and stuff. But it's out now. Ganymede is on the Steam store and you can get it. And apparently you can get it in November, not yet. Okay. But there's apparently 4 variants from i3 to i5 to i7. But you know what's interesting? Although they've said that the storage and RAM goes up along the ladder, they haven't given us details of the graphics cards, which is kind of strange because that is important given it is gaming after all.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe it's going to be top notch. And shouldn't be a worry, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe they're like, don't worry about this, we got this.
Yeah, they'll probably give us the best.
But we'd still like to know, so.
Yeah.
When we find out, we will tell you.
Okay, so see, I am a huge fan of Iron Man, and Robert Downey Jr. is like super gorgeous, and he also has like a super gorgeous heart because he's just donated
a gorgeous heart.
Yeah, he's just donated a bionic prosthetic arm to a little fan who was born without an arm. I think
so
that's
that is
amazing.
cute.
That is really
cute.
amazing. And if you really think about it, the whole 3D aspect of it, if you can like, bring in stuff like that for people who are actually born without limbs, without arms,
might be a nicer idea than swimwear that falls apart.
Exactly.
But then maybe they need to get the stuff right so that your arm doesn't fall apart.
Yeah, that would be a bit scary.
Okay, but
Okay,
but I think that's it for this week.
I think we need to call it a wrap because we need to laugh for a lot of things that happen behind the scene, which you will see in a bit. So if you did like what you hear, make sure you hit that subscribe button,
click like,
and leave a comment as to what you want to hear. So until next time, have a lovely week ahead then. Adios. I feel sweaty. Can you edit my sweat?
I know you're obsessed.
You're right, Patrick. SpongeBob.
Just my name. Guys, we're running out of battery. We've been quiet for 10 minutes. Let's go.
Bro.
Bro, Patrick Fisher just quit, yo.
So much respect.
Patrick, please.
What is the Arya yaar?
Yeah, but this is 5 more minutes and we're done.
Okay.
Not even 5.
Speaking. Shh.
Google
Patrick
CFO.
Pichette.
Yes.
Pichette, right? Pichette, no?
Pichette.
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 Patrick Pichette. All right. Okay. Speaking of Google CFO, Patrick Pichette.
I can understand why the guy quit.
Speaking of Google,
What happened? What's happening now?
Please, for the
love
love
of God.
let Sharon do it.
no, I can do it.
I'm sorry, I don't have that much of my life remaining.
Okay.